Hello and welcome to the Anglican Flaneurs. It's a late Tuesday afternoon in the City of London. It's warm and muggy. I was going to do a walk around Whitechapel today, film a famous Jewish cemetery, but I couldn't get in. I'm going to have to arrange permission, so that's a vlog for another date. So let's just have a quick walk around the Minories. Another one of those East End City of London borderlands. Now, Minories was outside the City of London, but firmly in the borough of Tower Hamlets. But boundary changes in 1994 mean that the area now is wholly within the City of London. Minory is opposite the famous church that we've seen many times in previous vlogs, St Botolph without Aldgate. It's just beyond Fenchurch Street, and it's known as Minories, not the Minories, so apologies for an earlier mistake. The name derives from the sisterhood of the Sorors Minors of the Order of St Clair. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But if I haven't, and it's more likely that I haven't, then it comes up in the captions anyway. The sisters of the order were known as Minoresses, and their religious household as the Minories. A map from 1755 shows the Minories running down from Whitechapel, just outside the city wall. We saw some signage for the London Wall in this area just recently in the vlog that we did when we walked around Leadenhall Street and surrounding areas, and we came to the church. The abbey was formed in the 12th century and had an associated church. And following the dissolution of the monasteries in 1538, the church became the parish church and was known as the Church of St Trinity, or Holy Trinity in the Minories. Minories was the site of a Roman cemetery, and in 1853 a large Roman sarcophagus with a lead coffin was found near Trinity Church. All Roman cemeteries had to be outside the city walls, so if you follow the line of the city wall, you'll come across many old Roman cemeteries. We've moved now into Minories, and we've passed the bus station. We're outside this swanky hotel with a statue. No idea what the statue's of. Holy Trinity was located at the end of a street leading from the Minories. The street now is called St Clair Street, we see before us, taking its name from the religious order. The church was closed in 1899, and in 1906 the pulpit from Holy Trinity, Minories, was presented to All Saints Church in East Meon, Hampshire. There's been a pub on this site for over 2 centuries, and it's been known as the Three Lords since 1890, and I haven't drank in there. We've now made our way into another side street, this time India Street. It's named after former warehouses here of the East India Company, and of course the East India Arms in Fenchurch Street is very close by. Prior to 1913 it was George Street. Now off India Street we can see Vine Street, formerly known as Vine Yard. The origins of this is unknown, but thought to be either from a local inn or a vineyard. Can't think it was a vineyard, surely not in the City of London, but who knows. Lots of new high-rise office blocks have been built in this area over recent years, and as we often say in these vlogs, the tentacles of the city are reaching ever further out. We're now back onto Minories, and on the left hand side we'll soon be approaching one of its most iconic buildings. The beautiful iconic building that we see on the left hand side with the fantastic curves is Ibeck House, built between 1933 and 1937 and was designed as a modernistic style office block by the architects Fuller, Hall and Forsham. It is Grade 2 listed, and the Historic England listing provides the following description: much of which I don't understand, but let's try. Continuous horizontal window bands with metal glazing bars. So far so good. Vertical emphasis in centre of each facade informed of curved glazing and black fascian strips. I think I know what historic England means, but I can't be 100% sure, but let's continue. The ground floor facing onto Minories consists of the main entrance, sandwich bar and a pub called the Peacock. Again, it's a pub I've not been in. Now we can walk down Hayden Street to get further views of this wonderful building. The street was named after John Hayden, Master of the Ordnance 1627-42, who lived near here. Now on the left hand side opposite Ibex House we can see the Writers' House. Now research doesn't suggest a massive literary association. But if I'm wrong on this, and that's very possible, then please let me know in the comments. Now whilst we view this wonderful building, let's talk more about Minories. Minories railway station was built in 1840 as part of the London and Blackwall Railway, a 3.5 mile cable railway. The site of this former railway is now occupied by the Docklands Light Railway DLR station known as Tower Gateway, which we will see very shortly in the vlog, which opened in 1989 as the system's western terminus. Now we can look over the road from Ibex House, and there's a very grand building indeed that perhaps has seen better days. It's uninhabited at the moment, but let's hope it can be restored sympathetically. And of course, whilst I'm filming, there's a couple of Red London buses that come into view to again interfere with the view of this once great building. And once again I'm featuring on Ibex House. I really can't leave this building alone. Over the road from Ibex House is a road called Crosswall. This is named as it crosses the boundary of the city wall, where I mentioned earlier in the vlog as Minories sometimes in previous times being located in the borough of Tower Hamlets, but now being since 1994 firmly in the City of London. And to come back to its Roman history, in September 2013 a well-preserved Roman statue of an eagle with a snake in its mouth was discovered on a building site on the street, close to its junction with Aldgate High Street. And I dropped in a picture of that wonderful find. Very soon on the left hand side we'll be coming out to a pub and restaurant called the Minories. I've never been in there, but it has a very good reputation. Now we're crossing under the railway bridge that leads from Fenchurch Street Station, and we're walking in a southerly direction away from Aldgate High Street in the direction of the Tower of London. To further cement its identity, Minories as this borderland area between the City of London and the East End, in 1686 it became part of the liberties of the Tower of London, which meant that it was outside the control of the City of London, a status it enjoyed until the liberty was abolished in 1894. To me, Minories is this perfect borderland street, sometimes in the City of London, sometimes not, sometimes East End. I remember this street from just about 40 years ago, from the early 80s. I had a friend here who worked in a shipping agency, and at that time it seemed full of offices and shipping agents. Now they've gone and it's become a little bit more retail and restaurant orientated. Now we're crossing into Hammett Street, named after its 18th century builder Benjamin Hammett, also Lord Mayor of London in 1797. And now we've walked into the Crescent. I never knew this place existed, and the information for this has come from a wonderful website called the Commuter Consultant, and it's the musings of a commuting information technology consultant on architecture, history, London and landscapes. I've just started to get into this website and it's given me a lot of information, so big thanks to the person who runs this site. And using his research, the Crescent was the second part of Dance's plans for Vine Street. Built at the same time as America Square and the Circus, this was the first planned crescent in London and introduced the concept of curved street frontages to London. Now we've come out to the busy junction opposite the Tower of London and by the Tower Gateway DLR station. So that's it for our very brief walk today along Minories. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. So it's goodbye from the Flaneur-Exploring.